What's up? How you been? Things have been insane, and I apologize, but I just really haven't had a whole lot of time to make some videos because, you know, this is my second job. My first job always takes priority. So, but we've got a great load that's headed up to Portland, and excited to talk about it. Excited to get back on the grind, back on the YouTube grind. We're gonna hit it hard for the rest of this year. So get excited, hit that subscribe button, and stick around because it's gonna be fun. Well, gosh, there's so much to talk about, and really and truly, I don't even know if I can catch you guys up in one video. But we're going to talk about kind of all the things that have happened along the way, but just go over a few things that recent. So, I ran really hard the past couple of weeks, and I started some vlogs, didn't finish some vlogs, so unfortunately I don't like to put things out that are incomplete. That's just not my style. So that's why we just kind of went on a bit of a hiatus. And then today we celebrated my daughter's first birthday. Holy cow, the kids are growing so fast, time flies, especially when you're gone so much. You know, it's crazy when you leave and then you come back and they look like different people because they grow so much. It's exciting, but it's also, kind of sad at the same time. But great to watch them grow, and so happy that, I have the decision to be home when I want to, and what time period that I want to, so I can enjoy, the things that, not all truck drivers get to enjoy. I've missed a lot of holidays in the past. I've missed a lot of birthdays and stuff like that, but no longer. So celebrated her birthday today. It went great, had a good time, and just excited to get back out on the road. Got some, let's go over a couple things. Got some new steer tires recently. We went with Yokohamas this time because they were a little bit, actually they were considerably cheaper, but they were still the same ply, still good quality tires. So I want to run these and see how well these do. And if these are comparable to the Michelins, well then we're going to run these because obviously a lot cheaper, and cheaper makes more sense as long as you don't give up quality. So don't know, we're going to give them a shot. Had the drive tires re-grooved. Now, these drive tires, I've been running 120 PSI, and of course I run super singles. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, I do have super singles, and matter of fact, my rear axle is a dummy axle. And I don't like that, especially for super singles. You already lose a little bit of traction. It's not noticeable, but really when, that dummy axle just really kills it. You take away a lot of the weight back there, and then you can't kick it into, you can't use all four tires or both axles for traction. So this truck can easily get stuck in bad conditions. It's not necessarily the greatest flatbed truck in the world, but it gets great fuel mileage. So a little bit of give and take. But I was running 120 PSI on these, and that's what I ran on the previous set, which I believe those were Yokohamas. I have to go back and look. I actually don't remember. But I ran 120 on those, and those wore well. Those, there was no, the 120 PSI didn't overinflate, which if tires are overinflated, the middle is going to wear down. Well, that's what was happening on these. And once you start to wear those, tires just keep wearing out unless you do something to them, unless you true them, or maybe severely change the PSI. Right now I have 110 back there, and I think I'm actually going to drop down to 105. I'd prefer to run them at 110, but because of that wear in the center, I'm actually going to drop it down to 105, run that for a little while, boost it back up to 110, and hopefully extend the life of these tires. But had them re-grooved. Re-grooving apparently is a lost art, kind of like truing a tire. I called, I think, 12 shops before finally somebody knew a guy, and then they called their guy called him back, said yes, he called me, I called them. Anyway, I had my tires re-grooved, and they look great. Really excited about that. So yeah, had that done, and then went and picked up this load that we have right now. Went and picked that up yesterday. Actually, let's go take a look at it. Okay, so pretty sure that you can see that. I had to come to the passenger side, somebody having a conversation over on the other side, and I didn't want to bother him. So anyway, this back here, this piece is, you can see it here, this is an electrical cabinet, and nothing too special about it, but you know, the tarps are definitely special. I was able to tarp all of this with just the tarps that are made for the bottom deck, and if you can see this piece here is very tall. It's actually over 10 feet, but thankfully all of this worked out. I was able to turn this tarp sideways, so basically it's a 4-footer because this is only 2 feet wide, so that's why it looks like a nice little tent and very aerodynamic, and it's going to work out really nicely. And then this back here is it's a paper machine. It's a slitter. The other pieces of machinery that I hauled before on the channel, that's actually the same thing. This is a bit of an older version. The guys that are bought it or receiving it, they're actually just going to scrap it for some internal parts. But you know, it's nearly 11 feet tall, and oh man, that was a fun tarp job. Yeah. This thankfully though, this load is paying really well, so excited about that. Actually got to use the Low Pro for the Low Pro, and I can see the difference in price. That's exciting. So that makes me feel good about the purchase, because this is the first load that I've ran that's built for the Low Pro, I think. But anyway, so that's what we're hauling. We're running up to Portland right now. We're leaving out on Saturday, so not going to be able to utilize that top deck unless we get really lucky out of Salt Lake, maybe, but highly unlikely. If we were leaving out during the middle of the week, we could easily find something to go on that top deck. I've seen a couple of things, but I didn't know exactly how all of this load was going to go down, so didn't know if I could book anything for that top deck. So that's why it's empty. But anyway, let's get rolling, and we're going to stop in Amarillo tonight. So we did make it to Amarillo, but one, I didn't get a whole lot of driving footage, and that's because the GoPro died on me yesterday. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it had a much larger charge, so not as much pretty scenery of Texas, but that's okay. It was mainly uneventful yesterday. I am having a bit of trouble. As you can see, I had to throw a 2-inch strap over the top of that tarp right there. I'm having trouble on the other side. It's ballooning out a little bit on me. I tried fixing it, but I don't know. I think that's going to work. It seems to have stopped the cutting on the other side. There's 3 different spots where it's kind of cutting into the tarp, and I'm a little upset by that, but there's really not much I can do about it. You know, whenever you're hauling machinery like this, it's just kind of part of it sometimes. I thought I did a great job. Sorry about that. I thought I did a great job as far as padding everything, but apparently not. And then this happened maybe 60 miles back up the road. My toolbox right here, the door flew open, and had no idea. I don't know if I lost any straps or not. I don't know exactly how many I'm carrying right now, but a car was driving up, and as their headlights were passing, I could see the shadow of the door opening. And I was like, oh man. So hopefully I didn't lose anything. I mean, I didn't lose any, I didn't lose my strap winder, which I thought would go. I didn't lose any of my ratchet straps, which I thought also would go. If anything, I might have lost 1 or 2 of my 30-foot straps.
which isn't that big of a deal. And then I've been having trouble with this wheel back here. You can see that I have my hubcap cover off. There's a seal that goes, it goes right behind the hub, kind of there's like the end of the hub, and it's been leaking on me. And that's, I haven't washed the truck in a while because I've been dealing with this problem for quite a while. A couple of different fixes did not wind up fixing them. And then, so I think I have it fixed now, which is just, really, it's just another seal. And then I actually lowered the torque rating on the nuts right there. So hopefully that fixes it. I think it has. It seems to have stopped leaking. We're gonna give it a couple of more days, which is, you know, a little over 1,000 more miles. I'm gonna check that out, make sure that it's good to go. And when we do that, we're gonna get the truck nice and cleaned up. And so looking forward to that, because it's been a while. Like I said, I've been running super hard. Haven't had time to breathe, much less do anything else. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. We have a lot of things lined up this month, this year. Some changes, some things we're gonna add, a lot of stuff going on. I'm not gonna get into all of that though, but you're gonna have to stick around. And but don't forget though, stay driven.